All right. Let's see. That is 1 pound of ground turkey meat. I wish I didn't have to hold this thing, hold the camera with one hand and do my work with the other. I keep this in the ground turkey meat in the freezer, and I'm going to put it in this glass right here. And then, see, that's a very tall, sturdy glass beer mug. I purchased that at Dollar Tree. And I'll take this all natural fresh ground turkey. I guess you can see it. Which is, it's leaner than don't you know it, when you're on camera, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. All right. Oh man, I'm just trying to get my act together here. You know, I've never seen the press center around a topic for so long in my life as building a wall. You would think people must be retarded as much as they have to continually drown out the same message about building a wall, and that along with impeachment. You know, if I hear somebody say that word again on the Democratic side, I think I'm just going to write another letter to my representatives. I already wrote them once. They don't reply. And I've got my own problems I got to worry about. Why I got to worry about what they do? Aren't they supposed to do their jobs and do it right and protect American citizens and protect our interests? I mean, I don't think half of America's worrying about what they're doing. Probably more than that. And most of them don't have time for it. And I don't have time for it neither. Except I'm not well, and I can't get anybody to assist me with the return of my stolen property. I've had way too much stolen from me, and they don't do anything. I'm trying to get my act together. Good Lord, that's trash then. I don't have any soap. Well, I don't use this soap for my hands normally, but I don't have anything else right here. I just ran out. Gotta go take a soap, I guess. What a coincidence, huh? You know, I'm usually a lot nicer. I don't understand. Here we go. All right, put that up there. And defrost. It's a pound, so I'll go for a pound. And I have this, I've got that in the microwave. I don't know how well that's showing up. And it's showing about 8 minutes to defrost. it's going to beep telling me to turn it over. I don't have to turn it over. See that glass? That works. So I'll stay clear of that thing. I think it's actually causing interference with the camera. Alrighty, and let's see. I've got 8 ounces of tomato sauce and 14.5 ounces of petite diced tomatoes. Go in here. And some black pepper. Well, I could put that on. Actually, I'm not going to put black pepper in there. I put that on the finished product along with the salt. And salt and pepper it after I serve it. But I do cook it with this seasoning. Put the meat in the pan and put the seasoning on top of the meat. Alright, over here we've got 1 large white onion. And we've got some garlic cloves. I'm going through this garlic. So I just sliced these longwise, and that's sufficient. I can just take this right here. Put that in the pan. And I do not turn it on until the meat's ready. When the meat's ready, I'll put the meat in there on top of the onions, and now I'm going to put some garlic in there. I got to chop it up. So I got cloves of garlic. I'll put plenty in there. I'll show you how much in a minute. Let's see. I guess that's going to get me. I'm not sure. I can put it down here if it's lower, but that may not get me. Let's see, that will. Oh. So, you know, I've been pretty ill, and I had mouth surgery, and I basically drank something like Ensure, but it was the Walmart brand. I drank that and laid in the bed and could hardly even move after the surgery, so for at least 2 weeks I think I was in the bed. Of course, anybody saw me couldn't tell because I look pretty good when I'm in the bed all the time. I look pretty good. If I stay up, I look pretty bad, and I'll get worse. But past couple of years I've watched various videos of people living out of their RV, and I have mentioned that to a couple of people on different posts on YouTube. And I have a playlist called RV question mark, you know, are you thinking about buying an RV? And I found the information on that in those 3 videos there. Be something that's I found the information to be very valuable. Number one problem I see is expenditure. It's, you know, people who can't afford to live in a house and they're going to move into an RV to save money are probably in for a shock. Now, if you're living out of your car, even that's not cheap. Let's face it, wherever you eat, I mean, I see these people, they have a cooler and they keep stuff in the cooler. The people living in their car do, and I've stayed in my car, but not for extended period of time like that. I stayed in my car a couple of times, but nothing like what they're doing. No way. You know, I just made it an overnight stay or something when I had a long trip and I was tired and I didn't want to drive anymore. You're not supposed to do that. Police officers don't want you sleeping in your car. When I was in college, I was driving home and it got late and I was tired and I didn't realize how tired I was, and suddenly it dawned on me on how tired I was. So I pulled off on the side of the road and said, I'm going to sleep. I'll take a nap and wake up and finish the rest of the trip, you know, because this is not safe. Well, lo and behold, an officer came and tapped on my window and woke me up and says, you can't sleep here. He didn't write me a ticket or say anything or do anything. I was young. I was very young then. It was my first year in college, and I didn't know any better. And I said, well, officer, what am I supposed to, I'm not really in shape to drive, because this was I didn't get a cat nap even. He was right on me. You know, when there's never a police officer around, and then boom, there's one. This was, you know, probably 2 o'clock in the morning or something. And he could tell there's nothing wrong with me. I was just tired. And so he said, well, there's a motel right over there. You can go check in. So if that isn't a money-making business, I don't know what it is. So I went over there and checked into the motel, and they got my money. Needless to say, I never drove if I felt like I was the least bit tired. But you know, I was feeling sick that night, so I made sure before I ever went anywhere again I was fairly well, you know, I could make the trip without having to check into a motel. I never did that again. All right. You know, I studied drama and I know all about photography and film and everything, and I know I'm just not even speaking well. I'm a great orator. I just have lost abilities and I'm not up to doing anything. If I told you who I studied under, y'all's jaws would drop. Maybe one day I'll try to put it all together and prove it to you. But honest to God, you're just seeing me in the raw. There's no editing or anything going on. I pause the camera so I can, you know, put my both hands on something, because I got my hands on the camera. All right. I just opened this turkey up like that. I'll go ahead and turn the burner on. Large burner, because I got a two-tier burner there, 2 rings, and I'll turn it up to, let's see, I guess I don't even remember, but about 8 or something maybe. I could have thought it a little more. But it's fine, as long as I chop it up. And I come back on top of that and put some herbs. Whoa. This is, marigim, thyme, rosemary, savory, sage, oregano, and basil. Basically, any kind of Mediterranean seasoning will do. And I put it on there pretty heavy. You don't want a salad, but it's on there heavy. Here's my garlic I'm working on. Let's see. Where's the... I just take all this. If I can get a little more, maybe. And the trick with garlic is you take the clove, you press down on it with a flat knife, and you can just pull it out. You can pull the skin off. You just crunch it. Okay, so I'm going to take this right here just like that. Make 2 trips and throw it in over this meat. You can put it on the bottom with onions, that's fine. But just put it in the pan, that's the whole principle, and put it on where the meat comes in contact with the meat. And I'll put the lid on it. And set me a timer for 10 minutes. I've got water boiling because I'm going to put a whole pound in that water. It's whole wheat. Alright, and all this goes in the garbage. The skin up, all the garlic peeling. Whoa. Now I'm going to take these I'm going to chop them up. You could just use a butter knife. You just slice it up into little rings. Here. Just take it, and you can take a sharp knife, but all you need is a butter knife. You go through every single one of them like that. So just cut them into a little ring. you back up here while I'm doing that. I got a lot of them to do. So, I hate talking politics, don't I? I don't know what you people want to hear. Like I said, I'm listening to these RV channels, and I don't hear a peep out of one of them about anything political. They're too busy showing you their solar ovens and their solar charge units and their their dogs or whatever they got. You know, whatever they got, they're going to show it to you. They don't want to talk about what's going on in politics. That's not making it. Excuse me. How to handle a woman? There's a way, said the wise old man. A way known by every woman since the whole rigmarole began. Do I flatter her? I begged him answer. Do I threaten or cajole or plead? Do I brood or play the gay romancer? Said he smiling. No, indeed. How to handle a woman? Mark me well, I will tell you, sir. The way to handle a woman is to love her, merely love her, simply love her. Love her, love her. So I'm still waiting on my wife, wherever she is. I got so much needs to be done. Supposed to vacuum the house today. I'm supposed to cut my hair. But I think I'm going to forego that since I cut it a week ago last Wednesday. I got kind of off track and decided to wait before, and now that I've waited, maybe I'll just do a real brief cut so that I'm back on schedule. Cut it every 2 weeks. If you cut it every 2 weeks like that, I gotta get this stuff on there. I'm talking too much. These black olives are supposed to cook into that meat. You really should put it in there pretty soon. Not wait. Alright, I gotta turn the meat down. I was talking to you and I forgot about it. I'm not really with it today. Seems like I'm having more days like that. I come back and chop the meat. Again, I'm just using a regular spatula. And I come back and that meat was just cut open. So what I do is I come back and pulverize it with the end of the spatula. Just chop it into small pieces here. Yeah, our Democratic leadership is not showing any respect. So is a whole lot of bots on the internet. I'd say bots because I don't believe they're people. And I have done reverse IP tests on several of them, and found that those bots are in Nigeria. They're not even in the United States. So people claiming to be they claim to live in Florida. That's where I've had people tell me. Or they claim to live in New York. But they are not running through any kind of virtual private network or anything. These are just these are bots. Even the ones that aren't bots and are real people on their cell phones were scammers in Nigeria, of all places. That's insane. That's all I can say. In the most foul language you've ever heard out of anyone. No one I grew up with speaks like they do. Nobody of any race or ethnicity or anything. I don't know anyone talks like that. The bots included. The bots have been programmed to be just ruthlessly rude. And you think you're talking to a person. Because the bots can pass the Turing test now. And Alan Turing developed that test to determine, can you tell this is a human being or not? And no, that you can't. You can't determine. The bot will actually carry on a seemingly intelligent conversation with you. Google has bots now that will call and, artificial intelligence that will act like a human. And to some degree smarter. Truly is, because it has all that knowledge about anything you're dealing with. And it doesn't forget it. Anyway, the computer will call up and make an appointment for you at the restaurant. And find out, what's available, and the person on the other side doesn't know they're talking to a bot. They have no idea. They think they're talking to a real live human being. It's to that level now. Listen, back in the 90s, I worked on government systems